Some of the people closest to you don't want you to fail, but they also don't want you to win. And the scariest part? They'll never say it out loud. They won't insult you. They won't attack you. They won't openly compete with you. Instead, they'll ask questions. Questions that sound innocent. Questions that sound friendly. Questions that sound like curiosity, concern, or casual conversation. But psychologically, these questions serve a very specific purpose: to measure you, compare themselves to you, and quietly bring you back down to their level. If you've ever felt uncomfortable after talking to a friend about your success, if you've ever felt guilty for doing well, if you've ever felt like explaining your progress made things awkward. This is why jealousy doesn't always look like hatred. Sometimes it looks like interest. Sometimes it looks like advice. Sometimes it looks like jokes. And most of the time, it looks like questions. Psychology shows that people who feel threatened by your growth rarely confront it directly. That would require self-awareness. Instead, their subconscious finds safer ways to release that discomfort. So it leaks out through words, through tone, through timing, through questions that aren't really questions. And once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them. Because today, we're breaking down the 3 questions a jealous friend almost always asks, and why these questions are never as harmless as they sound. This isn't about becoming paranoid. This isn't about cutting everyone off. This is about psychological awareness. Because when you understand what's actually happening beneath the surface, you stop internalizing other people's insecurity, and you start protecting your energy. And once you understand it, you'll start seeing why certain friendships feel supportive at first, but strangely uncomfortable once you start improving your life. Human beings constantly compare themselves to others. That's normal. That's how the brain measures status, safety, and belonging. But here's where it becomes toxic. When someone feels stuck, emotionally, financially, mentally, your progress becomes a threat to their identity. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your success forces them to confront something painful. If they can change, why haven't I? That question creates internal pressure. And instead of using that pressure to grow, many people look for ways to relieve it. One of the easiest ways, lowering you. Not openly, not aggressively, but subtly, through doubt, through minimization, through planting uncertainty in your mind. And this is where questions come in. Questions allow them to hide judgment behind curiosity, mask insecurity, as concern disguise competition as conversation. The dangerous part is that you often don't realize what's happening in the moment. Your brain hears the words, but it doesn't immediately register the intention. So instead of recognizing jealousy, you feel confused, defensive, guilty, uncomfortable, and you start explaining yourself. You justify your success. You downplay your wins. You soften your ambition, not because you want to, but because the social pressure pushes you to. This is why some friendships feel safe when you're struggling, but tense when you're winning. It's not coincidence, it's psychology. And once you understand the specific questions jealous friends ask, you'll understand exactly when to stop oversharing and when to emotionally disengage. But here's where it gets even worse. Jealous people are often completely unaware that they're jealous, which means they genuinely believe they're being supportive. And that makes their behavior even more dangerous. People don't question your success when they're proud of you. They question it when it threatens them. And that threat doesn't come from your achievement. It comes from comparison. But here's the part nobody wants to admit. Once you recognize these questions, you'll realize how often they've been asked, and how often you ignored the signal. Question first must be nice. How did you even do that? This question sounds casual, but psychologically, it's loaded. This happens because the brain hates feeling inferior. So instead of accepting that you worked for something, their mind looks for shortcuts, luck, help, timing, advantage. Your brain thinks they're just curious, but the reality is they're trying to make your success feel less earned. Minimizing effort protects their self-esteem. Question second, aren't you worried it won't last? This is fear disguised as concern. Your brain does this to protect itself from emotional discomfort. If your success feels permanent, it increases pressure. If it feels temporary, they can relax. So they plant doubt, not consciously, but instinctively. Question third, so what's your next plan? This sounds like support, but it's actually measurement. They're checking your trajectory, your momentum, your distance from them. Your mind thinks this is interest, but the reality is it's comparison disguised as curiosity. If this is hitting close to home, good. It means you're finally seeing the pattern. If you want to break this cycle, start with selective sharing. Not everyone deserves access to your goals. Not everyone deserves updates. Not everyone deserves explanations. Here's the mental trick that actually works. Watch how people react to your wins, not what they say. Support feels light. Jealousy feels heavy. And once you feel that weight, stop carrying it. Protect your momentum. Protect your confidence. Protect your future, because real friends don't interrogate your growth, they celebrate it.